Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the online video classes. This video is for class 2, subject Environmental Studies. In this video, we are going to do the revision of chapter number 13. And the name of the chapter is Communication. In this video, we are going to revise the contents in the chapter number 13 and then we will have a short revision test. This video is prepared by your EVS teacher Deepa Singh. So let's start our revision with the chapter number 13, Communication. Video with the chapter 13 and the topic is communication. So what do you mean by communication? Communication means to send or receive messages. When we send the messages to someone or when we receive someone's messages, that is called as communication. Then the question comes to our mind is that how can we communicate with others? So here we have means of communication. We have different means of communication, different means by which we can communicate with people are called the means of communication. Like in olden times, the pigeons were the messengers. As you know that in the older times there were no phones, there were no mobile phones or telephones. At that time, pigeons were used as giving the message to one person to another and they were used as messengers. Then when the time passed on, men on foot or horseback carried letters. Then men on the foot or at the horseback used to carry the letters. In this way, in earlier times, the messages were given. Then we have modern means of communication. Modern means of communication means the communication means which are used at the present time. So we have postal communication. First modern means of communication is postal communication. Few years ago, it was the most popular means of communication. So few years back, postal communication, that is the letter writing, and postal writing, they were the most famous means of communication. We can send messages through a post office, on postcards, inland letters, and stamped envelopes. So messages can be sent on the postcards, on the inland letters, or on the stamped envelopes. We write the address and pin code on the envelopes so that the correct person can get our envelope. We write address and the pin code on it. An aerogram is used to send letters to people staying in other countries. For quick delivery of urgent letters, we use courier service or a speed post. So when we want that our post should get to the person as early as possible, then we use the speed post facility or the courier service facility. Then comes the telephonic communication. By the name itself, you must have understood that telephonic communication means the communication on telephone. So telephone is the quickest and the most popular means of communication nowadays. So in today's time, we use telephone, and telephone is the quickest and the most popular means of communication. Mobile phones help us to talk or receive messages, pictures and videos while traveling also. If we are traveling from one place to another, then also we can use the mobile phone. We can receive messages on the mobile phone or pictures or videos. Even we are traveling from one place to another, then also we can use the mobile phones. Then we have fax machine. We can send written messages through a machine which is called fax. It is used for instant messages delivery. So fax is a machine which is used to send the written messages instantly. Instantly means at that very time. If we want to send any instant message, then we used fax machine. Then comes the mass communication. Till now we have studied about the means of communication. Now comes the mass communication. What do you mean by mass communication? When information or messages are sent to a large number of people at the same time, it is called mass communication. So by the word mass, we means large number of people. So when any information or messages are sent to a large number of people at that same time, it is called mass communication. And examples of the mass communication are newspaper, magazines, television, radio. Through newspapers, magazines, television and radio, we can send any information to a large number of people at the same time. So these are the examples of mass communication. Then comes the computer. Children, you all must be studying computer and must be familiar with it. Today's time, computers are very common means of communication. Computers are of two types, desktop and laptop. The internet connection helps us to get all types of information through the websites. We can communicate with people through email on the computer. Email is electronic mail. So in today's time, computers, they are very common means of communication. There are of two types of communication, computers, desktop and laptop. For working on the computer, to get any information, we need the internet connection. With the help of internet connection, we can get any information through the websites. And we can send email to communicate with any person through the computer. Till now, we studied about the means of communication. Now comes the misuse of communication devices. Misuse means to use the communication devices in the wrong way. So, communication devices are for our benefit. They are meant to be used as and when required. Do not spend long time speaking to friends on the phone. It is a waste of time. Do not spend too much time playing games on the computer or mobile phone. This can spoil your eyes. Use the internet in the presence of your parents to get information required. So, if we do not want to misuse the communication devices, then we should not spend long time speaking to our friends. We should not spend too much time playing games on the computer or mobile phone, and we should use the internet in the presence of our parents. So, it is important to spend quality time with friends and family. Communication devices should not take over the personal time that we spend with family and friends. So family and friends are important. We should spend time with them and we should not waste our complete time on the internet or computers or mobile phones. So children, with this we come to the end of this chapter. So let's just revise that in this video of chapter number 13 part 1, we have studied about the different means of communication and about the mass communication, and we have also studied about how we should not misuse the means of communication. I hope you all must have liked the video. So students, we have done the revision of the chapter. Now we will have a short revision test. All of you please write down the questions in your copy and then write down the answers. Put the heading revision test. So first question is, what is a communication? You have to write down the answer. What is a communication? Then question number 2, what is a speed post used for? What is a speed post used for? Then question number 3, write one line about the following. First part, internet. You have to write down one line about the internet. Then B1, newspaper. You have to write down one line about the newspaper. Then we come to question number 4. Which means of communication will you use to? A part, tell your aunt in USA about your result. If you want to tell your aunt in the USA about your result, then which means of communication will you use? Then B1, collect some information on animals. If you want to collect some information on animals, then which means of communication will you use? So this is a short revision test of chapter number 13 that you will do in your EVS copy. So that's all in today's video. In the next video, we will have the revision of chapter number 14. Till that time, study well and keep safe at your home. Thank you and have a nice day.